Welcome in everybody to ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zach Brown. Joining with me as always is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. Make sure you guys follow anywhere you get your podcast, podcast platforms, all social media platforms. We're releasing full episodes now on Facebook, so make sure you keep liking all the pages, keep that algorithm going. We are kicking off this week with our off-camera segment. Our off-camera segment is the same this week. We actually ended up getting together in North Carolina last week, and we're able to see the Saturday qualifying of the four wide Carolina Nationals at ZMAX Speedway, and it was a lot of fun. Really, shout out to ZMAX for always having great hospitality there in their suites. Walking around, seeing all the drivers, seeing all of the crews work on the cars, it's really, really cool. We were talking amongst ourselves there just how well organized NHRA has. They pretty much always have had it for fans, and it's really fan focused. The disappointing thing that we did see, though, and specifically Sunday when you saw on the broadcast, was not a lot of people there. Saturday, expected not to be a full crowd, but there's not a lot of people on Sunday. Kind of disappointing, kind of surprising too, especially getting this late in the season. Everything's ramping up for the championship, but it was a really cool experience for us to go there.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Uh, I was just sort of reading some things. People were wondering why there's no crowds, and they were blaming like they don't like the four wide. But the U.S. Nationals is too wide, and it didn't really have that big a crowd either. It's a little expensive getting in there. It's like we went by the concession stand, the bottle of water's $5. I mean, it's awesome for the fans. Everybody gets to be in the pits. You can see them working on the cars. You can meet the drivers. In our case, we were standing right beside Rick Hendrick. John Force was right there. It was pretty cool. But NHRA might be a little bit in trouble because even the sportsman classes, either the last 2 years we went in the sportsman pits and they were full, and there was, I don't know, dozen or 2 dozen cars total in the sportsman pits. It was really kind of
Yeah,
kind of odd to see.
a lot of open space
Yeah,
in the pits, and yeah, disappointing to see that. Obviously, the big teams are going to bring a lot. Well, actually, there was a lot less larger, like the main four series, a lot less than we're used to seeing. Because
yeah.
usually there's like 4 to 5 that will get eliminated from qualifying night. I think only maybe two got eliminated from averaging from all of the series, all the major series. And yeah, I don't really know. And big thing is it's not advertised a lot, like nationally. Like that, I follow all their social media stuff. It doesn't post a lot. It doesn't really give you a lot of
Yeah.
information. It's similar to how an IndyCar is, where they fail at that end, where a lot of people just don't know when the races are. NHRA's website is absolutely awful. It's like
It's
they have
garbage.
never updated it since the late 90s, it seems. It's just very generic. It's hard to find anything, and you just don't really get any updates and all that. So that's just a failure from their so I don't even know if they even have social media relations in NHRA. I'm assuming they have to, but if they continue this, they're going to lose a lot of sponsorships. They're going to lose fans, which means losing fans loses sponsorships, and I mean that's how the beginning of the end of many different series. That's how it happens. So they're going to have to figure that out. A lot of the newer generation, I feel like they would enjoy this, but they just don't know that it's happening. The older generation, your generation, even on up, they know when these races are. They understand when each race is going to happen, when each drag race is going to happen, and just based on just like that's what they've always done, and and they're able to just make arrangements for that. But a lot of that generation, they're either season ticket holders or they are local to that specific track. Reading is going to sell out every damn time.
Yeah.
That is one of the best tracks that they have to sell out. Now it might not hold nearly as much as ZMAX, but still, it's still a sellout crowd. So I mean, Pennsylvania is very, very well known for a strong motorsports crowd.
Yeah, one thing that really hurts, especially if you just want to tune in and watch it, you never know when something's going to be on. It could be on Fox Sports 1, it could be on Fox Sports 2, it could be on regular Fox. It could be Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. It could be live final round. You never really know what's going to be on. I mean, sometimes they delay the final rounds till 10 o'clock Sunday night. I mean, it's like that's got to hurt viewership. But I mean, from what we've seen in qualifying and some of the race, just the on watching it on TV, the racing was pretty good.
Yeah.
It is hard to see four top fuelers and try to focus on who's what going down the track at 330 mile. I mean, it's like you see one, you don't know where the other three went. I mean, that's one thing that's definitely hard to focus.
One thing I can say it's improved throughout the years is like technology that people have. So that my phone was able to record it and you're actually able to watch it without being a complete
Yeah.
blur. So that actually improved a lot because I remember first going there when I had just a few years ago when you just start recording stuff, it would just be just a blur blob and you couldn't really make out anything. Now it's the technology in the phones is pretty unreal right now to capture all of that and have high quality videos that I mean it's going to be on the screen running right now. Um, but I mean, bouncing off what other people were saying, and I know it's the same thing too. Why there wasn't a lot of people, but it's and they were saying it's four wide. Nobody wants to see four wide. You tell me somebody
I
doesn't.
liked it.
You tell me somebody doesn't actually want to see 44,000 horsepower. That's pretty
Yeah.
freaking cool. I mean, you can say what you want, and yeah, maybe it's harder to follow. It's badass to see. It really is, and it's
Yeah.
nothing like it. And I know there's a lot of traditionalists, and I mean, you can consider yourself a traditionalist, but I know damn well you really enjoy the four wide. Everybody that's at the track really enjoys four wide. Even seeing it on television, that's actually really enjoyable too.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, the racing is good. It's just the failure that people don't understand when things are happening, and they just don't hype things up for NHRA. It just doesn't happen. And I think it's a failure from Fox. Fox has done terrible coverage for IndyCar this year. They've done terrible coverage for NHRA. We've already said on like how NASCAR can fix a lot of stuff, which they have. Their introductions to streaming platforms are is going to be the solution. Start with series like IndyCar and NHRA. I'm sorry, old timers, suck it up and pay the $5 a month and go to a streaming service. And I'm not saying Flow Racing. I think they need to try to have a partnership with Prime because Prime apparently has every damn sport now. Because now they're having NBA, they're having MLB, WNBA, NASCAR's in it, NFL's in it. Throw your name out there, try to get at least a couple races on there, see what the viewership looks like. I'm pretty sure it would go over well. And streaming is a lot easier to watch it live, and they can go on the smaller series and record all of that too. A lot easier than having to deal with network television type of rules.
Well, one thing from what I understand, and this is just hearsay or whatever, but NHRA actually pays Fox to broadcast.
That is dumb.
Well, I'm just saying that's, Fox is paying NASCAR to get their races, and I think NHRA and I don't know if IndyCar is doing the same way or not, but they have to pay, so maybe that's why they get the stupid time slots.
Well, that
Things
doesn't
like, but
that just
that's
doesn't.
where, it would be better on streaming service that we could tune in. We know the races start at noon o'clock on Sundays in general. Just tune in and show live coverage. We don't need commentators the whole time. Just show them.
Well,
Maybe go through the pits and
but I mean, even if it's like even the streaming service like ESPN Plus, they have well, every sport, but college wrestling is a great example. There are so many mats, so much going on at once.
yeah,
You can
multiple
actually,
channels.
yeah, you could figure out which one you want to go to. You can tune into it, put a damn garage camera at each one of these major teams,
Yeah.
find that stuff. People will tune into that. You'll get ratings that way. I mean, I don't know all the logistics with it, but it's just kind of common sense, which seems to be not so common anymore in anything. I know I'm ranting on NHRA and I've been kind of blasting on them, but I feel like that's just an easy way. It's too easy to at least attempt it because you're clearly not, you can't be making money from fans at least. I mean, you're going to be making money from the teams because they spend so much money on it, but you can't be making money with the fans, and that's it. You need to go back to the fan bases. If you don't have ratings, you don't have anything. Uh, Ending my rant just to finish off with NHRA. Um, just touch on the winner. So Justin Ashley and Austin Prock win the two Nitro cars. Shocking. They're kind of starting to set their own. Justin Ashley came on strong lately.
Yep.
Austin Prock's just that team's just good. They're just good. Dallas Glenn and Richard Gatson is really shocking some people in the motorcycle garage. So that's been impressive. It's a pro, and I'm just shocked that I think he's now the championship leader. And you would think Gage Herrera would be the one that would win it, but I mean, as Lee Corso says, not so fast, my friend. So see
Oh,
what.
just one shout out. One of Mom's favorite drivers from years ago is Vincent Nobile, and he actually did win Mountain Motor Pro Stock. That was like his first win since 2018. That was just Mom just sort of picked him. He was a young
He
college kid running pro stock. Always kind of
He was in
reminded.
he was the Nitro Fish car and motorcycle, right? Was it motorcycle or the car?
No,
No, the car. Was it Nitro
did
Fishing
he
he was
have?
in?
He had those Mountain View tires. It was always a purple car, and it's still a purple car. That's probably why
Oh,
Mom just sort of picked that one out. Yeah, we actually had a picture of her with Vincent Nobile. I think it was back in 2011.
yeah, she should have got another picture. That'd been fun.
Yeah, well, we were trying to figure out if that was him or not, and because he didn't have his name on the car
Yeah.
anywhere, and but it was good for him to win one. That was pretty cool. Mom was pretty excited about that one.
Yeah, and again, it was a great experience to be there, and we can rant all we want how they can fix it, but at least the fan experience is still good. It's still
Yeah,
authentic, so can take that away from that. Let's go into what we normally start off with, but we wanted to, our camera kind of went into NHRA, so NASCAR at New Hampshire again, this is not my it was not my favorite track, still not my favorite track, will never be my favorite track. Um, kind of a it was a kind of a weird race how it all played out. Strategies once again, the best uh strategy driven driver right now is Ryan Blaney and that 12 crew.
yeah.
They just find ways to get it done. And this is starting to look like, and by the way, this 2 weeks in a row I've picked a winner. I'm just saying I've gotten two. I've never even got one right. So I got Seabell and I got Ryan Blaney right. We'll see if I can go 3 weeks in a row. Probably not. But uh this is similar to the run that Ryan Blaney had when he won his championship. They started finding ways to be consistent and win in the playoff format, and now he's locked into the round of eight. Now he just has to win one of the round of eight, and one of the rounds of eight is Talladega. I know it's a crapshoot, but damn, he's pretty good at
Yeah.
Talladega. And it's hard to really pick favorites at Talladega, but he's shown consistently he can win there, and he can somehow just be there at the end and dominate. And it's a really that whole round's going to be good for him and that crew. So um, I'm starting to think Ryan Blaney's going to be in the final four. Looking at it right now, just kind of preliminarily, you don't know what can happen. There could be bad luck, but they're going to start going for wins now. Why not? And then there's going to be starting to get ramped up for the round of eight. A lot of the we were kind of right with the Fords versus Toyotas in New Hampshire. The Hendricks actually surprisingly did really well. Three of them getting in the top 10. Alex Bowman finished just outside the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. So really good run for the Hendricks and Chevys. They did better than I expected. Um, but now you're getting into Kansas, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I think New Hampshire, it is what it is. Obviously, it's better racing than when Jeff Burton was there and led all the 300 laps. But it's I
Yeah,
don't know.
honestly, I didn't think the race was that bad. The one nice thing is it's a pretty short race, which I think makes NASCAR racing better. And the one issue, Ryan Blaney was the fastest car, but his car was not good on fresh tires after a restart. So he would be back and he'd have to work his way back to the front. So there actually was passing and everything. So as far as the New Hampshire race, was not bad. I usually dread waiting to go to that track, but it really wasn't too bad this time.
Well, the
it was better, dare I say, better than the Bristol night race.
probably. I mean. when the tires just fall off and it just becomes tire shredding, we already
Yeah.
talked about that. It's no fun for anyone to enjoy that, and it's just kind of just survival of the fittest, essentially. So Ryan Blaney's locked into the round of eight. A really strong performance by Josh Berry, though. Really, I thought he actually had a
Yeah.
shot at the
Well, we
end.
did say that this would be a good track for Josh
And
Berry.
unfortunately, it happened at a time where he's already eliminated from the playoffs. If this happened earlier, he could have had a shot to move on in the playoffs. And it hasn't been a fault of him or the crew. They just had bad luck, just like Alex
Yeah.
Bowman's had. So the playoff standings, Byron and Larson are obviously Blaney's moved on. Byron and Larson are pretty good shape right now. Um, but you never know,
One bad race.
especially when the Roval's coming up. That one gets tricky. Larson's gone into the Roval with a huge lead before and nearly blew it. So anything can happen. The Roval's weird, and we'll go. You want to talk about a rant? That'll be happening next week. Um, Seabell, decent shape right now, but nobody's really safe. Um, and nobody's really out of it. I really think, I mean, I think you're gonna see the bottom four likely. You're gonna have to see them get a win between Chastain, Cindric, Reddick, and Bubba. Good track for really all of them, specifically Chastain, Reddick, and Bubba coming this weekend. If there's a win out of any of those, I think this could be a good weekend for it. Um, Again, Briscoe's still been the shocker. He's still hanging
Yeah,
on above the cutoff. I don't think he makes it to the final four, but he's got a shot to make it in the round of eight. You're starting to see the cream rise to the top. So um, we'll see what the final four is going to be interesting. How they can get through whoever gets through the round of eight. That's going to be interesting. Um, well, let's talk about Kansas. I love this track. I love the mile and a half with this package, and Kansas is going to pack out. Tempers are going to flare. This is a really good track, and if it's hot and slick like it's been, I don't really know what the Kansas weather is in middle of September. I don't really know how all that is there, but if it's been like here, it'll be nice, hot, slick. The cars will be moving around, and I usually you can be like, all right, it's going to be Toyotas, it's going to be Fords, it's going to be Chevys this weekend. I think it's anybody's shot this
I
weekend.
agree with that. Yeah,
Uh,
it's always a nice track. That's a good place for him to race. It's got just enough tire fall off to make everything interesting. Pit strategy is going to come into play. Pit stops are going to be important. And qualifying now, you need to qualify probably in the top 10 to get a good pit stall. I think that's going to be huge
the
for
pit
advancing
stall is the
into the
biggest
program.
thing. The actual starting position, I don't think matters as much anymore as if you can have a
Right.
fast car.
Yeah, like if
But
you qualify good, get a good pit stall, even if something happens, you have to go to the rear, you still get that good pit stall.
that's where the little mistakes right now can cost you a championship. That's
Yep.
where we're at right now. Um, this is home of the closest finish in NASCAR history, where Larson beat Busher by uh, a, a paper thin margin. I mean,
Yeah,
quite
about an
literally.
inch.
Even the computers couldn't comprehend how close it was. They actually literally had to use photo finish here. I don't expect a photo finish again, unless you see a bunch of restarts at the end. Um, I, I do expect long green flag runs, which can play into strategies, fuel mileage strategies, which you can see at Kansas, which plays into a lot of the Ford drivers' hands. They seem to get just a little bit better mileage than everybody else for whatever reason. They've always have been able to do that.
Yeah, it's just the product of their engine, I guess, and everything else, and maybe they do a little better job at fuel savings or whatnot. But yeah, I think we're starting to get interesting now. Like you said, you can't have any mistakes. You can't have a penalty on pit road, this and that. So everything's starting to multiply. Now, here's the interesting thing. There are a little bit of issues with between teammates with Denny Hamlin and Ty Gibbs last week. Anything come out of this? It's most likely not, but you
I,
can see, I don't know, just frustrations already starting to set in a little
what are
bit.
they gonna do? Fire Denny? He's retiring in a year anyway. I mean, he. I'm I'm actually siding with Denny on this. Gibbs needs to get the hell out of the way. Denny
Yeah,
was clearly
especially
faster.
if you were racing for the win at the end, Go for it. That early in the race.
Denny's going for a championship. Ty Gibbs has no business holding him up. Get out of the damn way.
Yeah,
I don't blame Denny one bit. It's not, it didn't say it was an intentional one. It was.
sure
But
it was.
it, according to them, it's just kind of what happens and whatever. Yeah, but no, get out of the damn way. If you have a teammate running for a championship, you should know better. Just get out of the way. You'll see the Hendrick guys get out of the way. Like Bowman, if he's holding someone up, he will move out of the way. And whenever it gets down to it, and the Hendrick guy, whoever's knocked out, they will let them go and help them try to win. They tried to do that at Bristol to try to get Bowman to advance into the playoff. And no, it was Daytona when Larson was trying to do everything he could to get. They all were trying to get Bowman up there and to get into the playoffs, and it ended up working out. So surprisingly, that was actually really good teamwork from Hendrick.
Yeah,
Sometimes they just
yeah.
don't do that at all. But let's get into the segment that we always seem to have a lot of people tune into. And again, if you follow me, my picks for winning, you've done well these last couple weeks. Who'd have thought I should have actually bet on myself to do that? I didn't. But if anybody did, you did well. But my lead in fantasy is dwindling. It is going away very rapidly. So I need a
Not
big
not to
bounce
me.
back. Yeah, yeah. I need a
I'm
big bounce
already out
back.
of it.
I need a bounce back week in a big way. So I have to go with a lot of big name drivers. But let's give our NASCAR starting lineup for Kansas. See who we can get advancing into the round of 8. Go ahead with your lineup and let's see what we got.
Well, like you, I got all A-listers going this week. So in my starting five, I have Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Kyle Larson, and in my garage, I have Chase Elliott. Featured matchups this week, it is Bubba Wallace versus Chase Briscoe. I have Chase Briscoe. Ross Chastain versus Tyler Reddick. I do have Reddick on this one, but this is a good track for both those guys. Chase Elliott versus Joey Logano. I have Chase Elliott on this one, and Kyle Larson versus Denny Hamlin. That one's a tough one. I did pick Denny Hamlin this time, just
Well,
not jinxing Kyle Larson.
this will be interesting how we go about this. So I pretty much did a rinse and repeat from last week. Changed a couple things up. So my lineup is Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. You have to have those two in. Christopher Bell, William Byron, and in my garage I have Bubba Wallace. Good track for Bubba. And the feature matchups: Bubba Wallace versus Chase Briscoe. I have Bubba. Everybody wants you to point to Chase Briscoe. I think Bubba is a sleeper here at Kansas. Ross Chastain versus Tyler Reddick. I have Tyler Reddick on this one. Chase Elliott versus Joey Logano. Chase Elliott, I think Logano last week, kind of more of like a hometown finish. He wanted to race harder. Chase is just better on these mile and a halves right now. Kyle Larson versus Denny Hamlin. I have Kyle Larson over Denny Hamlin in this one. Having that momentum from last week, having a good solid finish is what that team needed. That will pay dividends this weekend. Uh, Two hot picks. We both have in our lineup, Larson and Denny. It says avoid Tyler Reddick. You can say what you will. That car's going to be good in this mile and a half. Reddick's going to be up against the wall about that far away from the wall. Avoid Ty Gibbs, which I don't know why you'd pick Ty Gibbs in here, anyways. So I agree with that. And the sleepers, Alex Bowman, maybe, but I'm at the point right now that you probably want to pick one of the 12 playoff drivers because that's who
Yeah.
you're likely going to see race well. So who's your pick to win at Kansas and move on to the potentially move on to the round of 8, or if we have a outside playoff winner or a repeat winner?
I'm going to take one of the low-hanging fruits. I got Denny Hamlin this week. Mom's pick is Kyle Larson, so good job, Kyle.
Well,
You're in good shape.
I'm doubling up on Larson, so we don't know about that. I am picking Kyle
Okay.
Larson to win at Kansas. I think that momentum from last week goes a long way into Kansas. We'll see if I make it 3 for 3 on race winning picks these last couple weeks. Been doing fairly well, so we will see what happens. Chevy does not have a win yet in this year's playoff, so we will see who advances to the round of 8. Sprint car action at Eldora this past week is what we're getting into now. Just to recap real quick. It's been the Rico and Reitzel show. So those
Yeah.
two have been battling hard at it. Reitzel, so Aaron Reitzel, the randomly, he will he will go on this spurt, just kind of like how Bill Balog does it. We were talking about that. It's like randomly that he will go on like a 5 to 10 race, just solid, like contending for the wins, and then all of a sudden you forget he even races in the high limit series. It's like both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
And he's doing it with a
Whether it's
broken
because
foot.
and whether it's because he's not going well, or he's just having bad luck, whatever it may be. But damn, that car's been fast. But damn, Rico runs the living shit out of that car. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He entered the freaking turn one from the start finish line to dive right in and slide up in front of Reitzel. That was pretty balls, and he made it stick. And then it was all she wrote on the
Yeah.
finale. Reitzel won the night before, and then Rico wins the finale at the Four Crown. Um, Persley had a very impressive Four Crown run, running multiple series in that one.
Yeah.
And Pennsylvania guy who
Anthony Macri.
no who was racing in the Four Crowns, and we were talking about that he was
Oh,
racing
Chase Dietz.
Chase Dietz. Yes, he had
Yeah.
a very
He had a good
solid.
run the Silver Crown car.
Yep, he had a very solid outing there too. So, very good crowd at Eldor. I wanted, did they say it was sold out this weekend, or was that a different? Was it the late? Oh, it was the World 100. They said it was the first sellout crowd ever in Eldora a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I we went to the truck race. I thought that was sold out. Then the
Yeah.
$1 million race I thought was sold out. So I don't know what they consider
I
sold
don't know.
out. Because their 50/50 is insane.
But best wishes to Anthony Macri. He was in a bad crash at Eldora and actually has a fractured vertebrae. I don't know if it's in his back or his neck. He's going to be out. I think they said 3 or 4 weeks. So if it's 3 or 4 weeks, maybe it's not that bad. So hopefully,
Well,
But boy, Eldora has taken its toll on drivers this
my
year.
my friendly advice to yeah, Tyler Courtney was recently. Was it Courtney that got?
Tyler Courtney did it. I think that's where Aaron Reitzel broke his foot.
Yeah.
Brad
Uh,
Sweet got a little bit hurt there. I mean, it's been a rough year.
just my friendly advice to Anthony Macri: wait till next year to come back. Don't rush it. There's really no need to come back this year. Uh,
Yeah, the
a
big
lot-
races are probably going to be,
there's
outside
nothing.
of end of October. Is it end of October? High limits back at Port Royal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything really worth coming back for. Maybe the World Finals at Charlotte, possibly.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even risk it. Just wait till next year, get fully healed up, and make a good run at it next year. That's just my advice. You don't want to in a situation where, and unfortunately, Tyler Courtney knows too much about this, where you have injuries over and over again. Donnie has a very similar resume as well with injuries, and that took him out of his entire career. So he, Macri's what, 30 years old. He doesn't need to risk the rest of his
yeah.
potentially 20, 30 more years of dirt racing. So for just to come back too early. So don't rush it. There's no need to really rush it. Take it one step at a time. You take advice from Tyler Courtney since he's been going through it too. Listen, obviously, to your doctors. Don't be stubborn. I mean, that's coming from me, but that's that's really what I got to say about that. So hopefully he can get back because him racing it. I mean, you can like him, you can hate him, but he's a damn good race car driver. And when that
Oh
team's
yeah.
got it going, they've got it going good.
And one other thing I just saw on Facebook or X. Junior Motorsports has hired championship crew chief Rodney Childers to be crew chief of the number one car, which is going to have both Carson Cavapel and Connor Zilic in it next year. So
Oh, Carson's
Cavapel's
not
not
going to
going
be
to be
full time.
running a full season, apparently.
So Carson's not full time next year now.
Correct.
I wonder if he's testing out some Cup Series part time, or if they're kind of
Well,
demoting him based on his performance.
yeah, my guess is almost kind of sounds like so they're going to put, you know, top of the line crew chief with him and, probably good chance of your championship Xfinity guy. So, if Connor can run good in that car and Carson doesn't, we know it's not the car.
Connor's pretty damn good too.
Yeah. So I mean, I think Rodney Childers will probably really help.
There's still hasn't been any announcement about a potential new driver to actually fill in full time at junior. So
Not yet, anyway.
I'm waiting to hear it to be Corey Day. I'm just waiting to hear that announcement. Somebody's going to pluck him. They're going to need to before it's too late. Keep saying that. Um, I think that does it for this week. We'll see how our fantasy gets. Uh, obviously, some more
Mine will
dirt
probably be
racing.
horrible.
Obviously, some more dirt racing this week. The Outlaw tune-up for the Posse before the Outlaws race the National Open at Williams Grove next weekend, which is one of the biggest races in the country anymore. So it will
Yep.
be very huge.
I guess if
And
dirt has crown jewels, that's got to be one of them.
yep, yep. And Pittman's racing, see if he can not get second again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he can finally get his win. And I mean, it'll be good ramping up. We're getting towards the end. A lot of people. So, real quick rant to end the day. So, this is no fault of the sport itself, of all of motorsports, but the reason we do this is to stay hyped up throughout the year because you want to know why? Yeah, football's back. People want to watch college football and NFL. So, and after as soon as that stuff comes back, you just don't hear any more about motorsports.
Yeah.
You gotta,
We've been doing it all year. It starts to get a little long
yeah.
in the tooth, you know. It's
And Chase Elliott's even said the same way. It needs to end the end of August. But I always try to stay hyped up doing this NASCAR fantasy. It helps stay hyped up. Seeing good racing in all the sports all across the board, that helps. But they just need something needs to be done across the board to keep viewers excited throughout for this last little quarter of racing.
yeah.
Because that's starting to be, and that starting to see that's part of it's hitting NHRA. It's going to hit NASCAR. Everything just starts dwindling when football season comes. So somebody's going to have to figure something out, whether it's certain TV rights. You're going to have to advertise a lot more. You're going to have to spend more money to make more money. People hate doing that, but sorry, that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Rant over. More rants will happen next week because the Roval is next week. That's gonna be a nice little rant from me. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
make sure you guys just share, follow anywhere you get it, and we'll have this up here. It comes out every Wednesday, Thursday, whenever we want to get it up and can get it up. So um, no interruptions from the kids today. So that was actually
Yeah,
impressive.
that's impressive.
Well, it's kind of scary how quiet they've been. So yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, bye everybody.